Our next video in our Now What series. We're covering I have Zoom, and now what? So a lot of people are asking about communicating when they're working from home and the best tools to do that. And Zoom, of course, is a great way to set up meetings with lots of people and to communicate with your team or potential clients or people you network with. So we're going to cover setting up your Zoom account and setting up your first meeting. So in the window here, I have my profile, which once you get signed up for Zoom, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you already have a Zoom. You already signed up for your Zoom account. There's a free one, then pro one, and small business, and etc. So even if you just have the free one, this should cover pretty much the basics. So this is our profile. I added my photo. I've got my contact information, or at least as little as I really need, just my phone number and company name. We set up a personal ID name because I have the pro version. I used our office phone number, so kind of made sense if you know that. My sign-in email, of course, tells me how many people I can invite to a meeting. Setting up my time zone and date format, things like that. Pretty basic setup stuff. This is one of the important pieces here is connecting to your calendar. So if you have Google or Microsoft and you're able to connect to your calendar, you want to make sure you do that, set that up, authorize it. Just follow the prompts. It's real simple. You may have to enter your password, but that's probably about as difficult as that should be. And I also wanted to allow Zoom to see the events and to access that calendar, but I didn't sync my contacts. Didn't think I needed to at this point. You may be different in the end. But one of the things I wanted to make sure that you got set up on was how to actually create a meeting. So let's get our meeting set up here and walk you through that. So if it'll actually load, there we go. Let's schedule a meeting. Once we get this loaded here, we're going to start with what are we going to call the meeting. So we use this for meeting with clients that are not able to come in the office, or if we have a team meeting and people are out working from home. So maybe we would just say team meeting, and then we'll just use today's date, or just use the date for an example. So month, day, year, otherwise known as Y. Either way. And then you can enter a description. So when people get an invite, they'll actually see the description of the event. But that's totally optional. It doesn't have to happen. Then you set the date and time. We're going to set it for today. We'll just say 4:00. And we're going to make it an hour long. And then we'll just do Central Time Zone because that's where we're at. You could also do a recurring meeting. So if you wanted to have this say you're having a regular meeting every week or every month, it'll automatically send a reminder and be available to the people that you send this to automatically on a recurring basis. You can make them sure that they register for the event ahead of time if you're really doing something special, or if this is just some people getting together on their own terms, then it doesn't matter. Meeting ID, since we have the pro account, I always use my personal ID, but you can also have it generate one automatically specific for that particular meeting, or if you were doing like a training or something that's very special, and especially if you wanted to add a password to it. So like only very specific people can enter it, and you don't want anybody that didn't register for it or wasn't invited to be a part of it. You'll want to set a password. Video, I always make sure my video is on when I start. Participants, you can start them with off and then turn them on manually afterwards, or you can have them all start on and then turn them off as you don't need it. Audio, usually I like to give people the choice whether they want to call in from their phones or use the computer audio. Usually when I'm on, I almost always use my computer audio. Meeting options, I like to have the have it set up so they can actually jump into the meeting room before I get there. If I'm running late or anything and they want to get there early, they can, or figure out if they have login issues, they can go ahead and try that and get set up before we get there. You can mute people before or once they join in. They don't have to actually be able to talk, especially if you're just doing a presentation and it's not really a true, like a general meeting or anything like that. You can enable a waiting room so they can just jump into a waiting room and then wait for you to actually get into the meeting, and then they can get in. So probably not going to be used very often for your day-to-day stuff. Only authenticated users, meaning basically they have to have an invite, record the meeting automatically. So there's an option, especially on the Pro version, you can go in and record the sessions. If you want it to automatically just start recording as soon as the meeting starts, check that. If you want to wait till you get things set up and then start recording, I would hold off checking that box. You can also set up other people as hosts. So if you're not going to be the only host, but you want other people to host and be able to present as well, you can put their email in there. Let's go ahead and save that. All right, now we got it saved, we can go ahead and add it to our calendar and invite others. So we'll click this. And then once we get signed into Google here, for me, I've got several Google accounts I'm signed into. So choose the one I want to use, allow it to actually use that account. And then my calendar comes up with the invite and setting up the meeting. And it shows all the details, the name of the event, location going to be the Zoom meeting itself, then the details of the event. There's lots of different different information here. You can change information. You can add to it if you want. There's phone numbers for them to call in if they don't want to use their computer audio. Sometimes if you have a weak internet connection, you might want to use the phone. You can add guests. You just put in their email address here and it'll automatically send them an invite with all this information in it. Let's go ahead and save this. Close out. Now in the back to the Zoom account, we're requiring a password on this one. So they have to have this password. So you make sure that if you invite anybody else, you just send them that password. This is the URL. You can copy the full invitation here. And so if you wanted to send an email to some other people that you forgot to add to the calendar invite, you can just copy this and then email that out to them. So is the settings we set up for it, what's on and what's off, and pretty much ready to go. So we can edit this at any time, make changes, we can delete it, or if we regularly do this kind of meeting, we can just set it up as a template. And then once we get done with this one, we can then go back, choose template to create a new meeting, and all the settings are there, and you don't have to actually worry about, what settings did I have in my last meeting? And then if we click start meeting, it'll pop up the software. The first time you do this, there will be a download that you have to install the actual Zoom software. So be aware. But when you go back to the meeting section, you'll see your meeting here listed here, and then start to jump in. You can click delete. If you had it set up so that people can jump in before you get there, you'll actually get email notifications saying people are waiting for you if they do jump in before you're ready. So so that way you're not surprised when you see those emails. But I think that's pretty well covers it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to help. We'd like to help any way we can. So, just shoot us an email. My email is dan@pixelfiremarketing.com. Just let us know if we can help in any way, or leave a comment on this video, and we'll see if we can add it to the next one. Or if you've got a topic idea of, now what? I've got this tool or this product or this service, and what do I do with it now? Let us know, and we'll create a video for it. All right, you guys have a great day.